How's it going, everyone? Welcome back into the channel. What a win yesterday. What a win over the Kansas City Chiefs. What a performance by this Packers football team. It's Victory Monday, so you know what that means. In today's video, we're going to break down all the PFF grades, and there are some pretty high grades for some players on this list. So we're going to break down the offense and the defense from this Week 13 victory versus the Chiefs. Before we dive into the PFF grades, I have some big announcements for some giveaways this month. I'm going to be giving away 2 items every 10 days. So I'm going to be giving away 6 total items in the month of December. And the first one is this signed, full-size Jordan Love white Eclipse helmet. What a performance by Jordan Love last night. The last 5 games, he's improved every single game. Super excited to give this one away. I love this helmet that I actually got one for myself right back there. So really excited to give this away to you guys. That is the first item to give away. And the second is this signed Devondre Campbell Packers jersey here. So both of these items I'm giving away thanks to Pristine Auction. Pristine Auction is your go-to signed sports memorabilia website, especially for the Green Bay Packers. As you can see here, there's signed footballs, jerseys, mini helmets, full-size helmets, football cards, pictures. They have so many cool items to offer over there on Pristine Auction, and you can get some really good deals. So to enter in the giveaway for the signed Jordan Love full-size helmet and signed Devondre Campbell jersey that goes until the 10th of December, go to Pristine Auction or click the link down in the description. Register on their website using code BASS. That'll enter you in this giveaway and all future giveaways. And like I said, I'm doing a bunch this month, so definitely be on the lookout. Doing so will also give you $10 off your first order, so you can go and see all the great deals they have to offer there and get $10 off your first auction win. All right, so now it's time to dive into these PFF grades, and man, I'm super excited to do this. Just an awesome win last night. Us Packers fans are on the top of the world right now, which is crazy to say considering the Packers are still 6-6, a 500 team, but now have over a 70% chance to make the playoffs, have a very favorable schedule coming up. Jordan Love looks like the guy, the next franchise quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, so we have a lot of things to be happy about. So let's dive into these grades, bring up the screen, and of course, we're going to start on the offense. And what do you know? Who's at the top there? Our main man, Jordan Love, with a 91.8 PFF rating. That is his highest grade of his career, and he deserves it, man. The past 5 weeks, every single week he's gotten better. And after last week against Detroit, I didn't expect it to happen again. I thought, okay, that was an excellent game. He's not going to top that against the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a better pass defense than the Lions, and it was such a great game. I was like, how could he top that? He came out here and topped that. Jordan Love played even better, which is crazy to say, against a Chiefs defense, and lit them up all night. I quickly wanted to go over the specifics of his passing. As we see here, when he was kept clean, he was 20 for 23. When he was under pressure, he was 5 for 13. When he was blitzed, he was 12 for 16. This is a big change from the last time the Packers played the Chiefs and Jordan Love started, and Steve Spagnuolo sent pressure all day against Jordan Love, and I believe he only threw 40 passing yards when he was blitzed the last time they played the Chiefs when Aaron Rodgers was out of that game with COVID. So a big change here, and Jordan Love was composed. He was in control. He was accurate. This dude was firing on all cylinders last night, and as we see here, throwing deep, he's been so much better recently. Earlier in the year, he was so inefficient throwing deep. Now we see outside right between the numbers and outside left deep, over a 100 passer rating, all 3. So overall, Jordan Love, just an excellent night. Next on this list is Christian Watson with an 88.9. The dude has been stepping up. I feel like every time after late November, Christian Watson blows up onto the scene. Hopefully his injury is nothing serious. Hopefully we get an update today on Christian Watson. We saw him pull up with what looks like a hamstring injury. I'm hoping it's just cramps, but he had an 88.9. Awesome day by Christian Watson. 2 touchdowns, one of which high pointing. A nice throw by Jordan Love in the back of the end zone. Just an awesome catch there. Third is Dontavian Wicks. I feel like every time this guy's on the field, he simply just makes plays. He has an 85.3, and he had 25 total snaps. Josh Myers, next on this list. He was actually the highest graded lineman of the night, and honestly, I think this is the first time he's done this. So Josh Myers has also been a lot better in the past month, whereas, we're looking primarily at Jordan Love in the past month, a lot of the linemen have been a lot better in the past month as well, and that goes hand in hand with Jordan Love's success. Myers a 73.7, good run blocking, good pass blocking. A.J. Dillon with an awesome night as well, finally averaged over 4 yards per carry, and again, that attributes to the offensive line as well. He had a 73.8 and an awesome pass blocking grade, 80.8. A.J. Dillon, one of the most underrated aspects of his game is his ability to pass block. You put him in there on third downs out of shotgun, and he can chip on a defender and completely wipe that guy out of the play. So really nice job by A.J. Dillon there. Rasheed Walker was the second highest graded lineman here, a 71.9. Good pass block, good run block. Tucker Kraft, 61 total snaps, so he only missed 3 snaps, where we see Jordan Love with 64. So Tucker Kraft played pretty much the entire game and did awesome. Tucker Kraft has really been filling in as tight end 1, and it makes me so optimistic for this tight end room moving forward with Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, even Ben Sims has been producing. Great find there after, taking him from the Vikings. Good job, Brian Gutekunst, on that. Tucker Kraft had a 71.2. Ben Sims, speaking of the devil, 20 snaps. He had a 70.9 and, of course, had his first career touchdown, following Tucker Kraft with his first career touchdown last week. Romeo Doubs, 66.1, also had a really nice game in my opinion, made that awesome contested catch, that floating ball. I think it was on 4th and 2 by Jordan Love. Don't know how he dropped that ball in there. It reminded me of an Aaron Rodgers high lofted throw, and Romeo Doubs came down with it. So nice job by Doubs and Watson, playing like true number 1 and number 2 wide receivers last night. Zach Tom, a 65.0. Not great in the run blocking game, but was good in the pass blocking game. Elton Jenkins, same thing, 62.5. Good in pass blocking, not great in run blocking. Elton Jenkins has been primarily a very, very, very good pass blocker this year and a below average run blocker, but that's kind of how some of the Packers offensive linemen are. Jaden Reed, a 61.4, about average here. He didn't do anything crazy, but he also made plays when the ball was put his way, whether that was the jet touch passes, he gained yards. He had a couple catches on the day, so nice, game by Jaden Reed, but it was mainly overshadowed by the games by Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and even Tay Wicks. Pat Taylor at a 60.9. Royce Newman came in first snap. I believe it was on the goal line, which was a touchdown to Ben Sims to really sell that run. They brought in Pearson, Royce Newman, pretty much, stacking offensive linemen there to make it look like a run. So he had a 60.0. James Robinson came in for 4 snaps, 59.1. Malik Heath, a 55.5, but also made a few plays with 11 snaps. The one, throw over to the left side where he juked the one guy, then stiff-armed the other. Malik Heath just makes plays when the ball goes his way. He did have one drop. Overall, it was a nice game by Malik Heath as well. John Runyon down on the bottom here. Actually above Sean Ryan, but Sean Ryan, 7 snaps. Sean Ryan, I believe, got blown up by Chris Jones, one of the plays. That's probably why he's a 30.0 pass blocking, but it's still better than John Runyon's pass blocking at 29.7, but they're both down here, but John Runyon had way more snaps, so I think that's more telling when you have 57 total snaps and still this low of a grade. Josh Nijman, 8 total snaps and a 47.5, so, they did still swap Ryan and Nijman at left tackle, right guard, but not as much as we're used to seeing. Only 7 snaps and 8 snaps respectively there. Then Henry Pearson had 9 total snaps, a 47.3. I saw them do a couple orbit motions with Henry Pearson orbiting behind the shotgun to lead block to the run to the outside. Never have seen that before. That was super intriguing to see, and I thought it worked, so it's kind of interesting to see a 40.7 run block for Pearson, because I thought in a couple of those it actually worked pretty well, but he is the lowest graded offensive player on the Packers this week. Quickly going over the offensive lineman pressures allowed, Rasheed Walker did grade well, but did allow 3 pressures, but no hits and no sacks, so just 3 pressures and 3 hurries. Zach Tom allowed 3 pressures and 1 sack. Josh Nijman, John Runyon, Elton Jenkins allowed 2 pressures each. Patrick Taylor, Sean Ryan, Tucker Kraft, and Josh Myers allowed 1 pressure each. And it says 1 sack here. We know Jordan Love got sacked twice. The second one, the last one where the Packers went for a field goal late in the game, was Jordan Love pretty much giving himself up. So that's not attributed to any offensive lineman. So only Zach Tom attributed with a sack last night. All right, so now let's flip it over to the defensive side. And at the top, we see Darnell Savage on his return from IR from his calf injury. The dude came out there, and played excellent. He was the top graded defender on the Green Bay Packers, 62 total snaps, 85.0, 78.5 run defense, 82.2 tackle grade, 75.5 coverage grade, allowed 1 reception on 2 targets, made 4 total tackles, 2 stops, 0 missed tackles, and I believe that was his highest graded game on the year. So Darnell Savage missing, a decent amount of games there, but coming right back into the mix, starting at free safety and having an excellent game. So nice to get him back right into the action and playing super well last night. JJ Enagbare with 27 total snaps. That's a lot of snaps for him. Typically, he gets a little lower than that, but he had a good game. A 78.5, 2 total pressures. Keyshawn Nixon, also probably his best game of the year. Obviously, that interception on Patrick Mahomes. He saw Patrick Mahomes pre-snap tap his knee, which told Nixon what he was going to run, and Patrick Mahomes ran exactly what Nixon thought, and that's why it almost looked like Nixon was running the route for Patrick Mahomes and got an easy interception on him, and basically ended that game. That changed the game and allowed the Packers to win. The defense, bend but didn't break, let up something sometimes, but also held the Chiefs offense to field goals a couple times and got a crucial interception late in that game. So 76.9 for Nixon there. Kenny Clark, a 65.2, another 6 pressure game. Also had a sack. That's back-to-back 6 pressure games by Kenny Clark. So awesome to see him, starting to turn it up late this year. A lot of these players are starting to turn it up late this year. Carrington Valentine, a 64.9. Quay Walker, a 62.9. TJ Slayton, 62.0. Rudy Ford, only 7 snaps on defense, which is a little shocking to see, because he was one of the most consistent players on that defense before he got hurt. He allowed one of the lowest passer ratings in the NFL at safety, so maybe he's just not 100%. That's kind of what I'm guessing why he wasn't on the field as much. He did have some special team snaps, made that punt recovery, I think, at the 2-yard line late in that game, so nice job by him there. I think he also made a tackle on special teams. Colby Wooden, only 5 snaps, a 60.2. Devontae Wyatt had 2 pressures, a 60.0. John Owens, 68 total snaps, so he saw, 100% of the snaps, 68 total snaps here, a 58.9, made 5 tackles, missed 1 tackle, had 1 stop, allowed 2 receptions. Rashawn Gary, a 58.9, had a pressure and a sack. Not a game like last week, but Rashawn Gary was still, making plays early in that game, had that nice pressure to, hold the Chiefs to a field goal and get that sack there. Preston Smith, same thing, 1 pressure, 1 sack, 57.4. Lucas Van Ness, 2 pressures and 1 sack. So all these guys, below 60 grades, but all of these guys also had a sack. So, I know that's just one play, and likely they have low grades because of all the other plays, all the other 40 plays they were a part of, except for Lucas Van Ness, only 25 snaps, but, they got pressures when they were needed to. So Corey Ballantyne, a 53.6. I didn't think he played that bad. I thought it was a bounce back from last week, which technically this still is a bounce back from last week with how low graded he was last week, but still not a great game by Ballantyne. He allowed 6 receptions on 9 targets, which we'll go over all the targets here in a second. Devondre Campbell, a 49.1, so not a great game by him. Carl Brooks is down here, did get a pressure, but he is a 35.0. That's the thing I'm kind of noticing with Carl Brooks. It's either like the dude's at the top or at the bottom. There's never like a Carl Brooks middle game, but he's still making plays. And for a 6th round pick, games like this will happen, but I'm still super, super proud of how he's playing as a 6th round pick. You know how high I am on Carl Brooks. I feel like I have to say it every video. And then Anthony Johnson Jr., I'm high on him too, but he only had 6 snaps this game and a 28.5, but didn't really record any stats, just 1 tackle. Now to wrap things up and go over the coverages, we see Corey Ballantyne allowed 6 receptions on 9 targets for 46 yards. So he was their cornerback that got targeted the most for the Packers defense. Nixon allowed 4 receptions on 6 targets for 32 yards, but also, of course, had that interception. Campbell allowed 4 receptions on 4 targets for 43 yards. Carrington Valentine allowed 2 on 3 targets for 20 yards. John Owens allowed 2 on 3 targets for 28 yards. Quay Walker allowed 1 reception on 2 targets for 7 yards. Same with Darnell Savage, 1 reception, 2 targets for 7 yards. And Rudy Ford got targeted once, but allowed no receptions. And then finally, Anthony Johnson Jr. allowed 1 reception on 1 target to Travis Kelce. I believe that was that 3rd and long or another play where Travis Kelce was wide open across the middle of the field. At PFF likely attributing that to Anthony Johnson's zone, but nonetheless, probably should just have a man on Travis Kelce. So that does it for all the PFF grades. Week 13, impressive victory, super impressive victory. I give it up to the Green Bay Packers right now. Their energy is unmatched right now. They are playing super, super well. They're playing with consistency, continuity, all of that, offense, defense. Jordan Love is balling out right now. I'm super excited for the end of this season. We have 5 more games in a very favorable season. New York Giants, again on primetime next week, Monday Night Football. Packers should go out there and handle business and then be above 500 and great in their playoff odds, which are above 70% right now. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below of these PFF grades. What do you agree with, disagree with? But that about does it for this video. I appreciate you guys coming by. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below. But I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.